Hi, my name is Merton, and in this little video tutorial I will show you how to implement a feature for the Blender game engine that allows you to execute scripts not necessarily connected to objects. For the first step, we need to extend the internal data structure of Blender with some new variables that could be saved and loaded. So here in the DNA world types.h we create two new character arrays, one string for the init script name and the other string for the cleanup script name. The next part is the properties called RNA world.c. Here we define two new properties that are actually Python wrappers for the Blender internal data. So we create a new property with the RNA def property function. Here I write down the name of the property called init script, and this is of type prop string. Another function called RNA def property UI text provides text for this property and also a tooltip. I don't know if this is necessary. Now I copy the property and rename this to cleanup script, and also in the UI text field. The next thing is we have to build up the user interface. So we go to release script startup BLUI and therefore the properties game. Here I just copy the game world class to start as a template. Now I rename some of the names there, game world scripts, and the label also. Another thing is that I create a new row for each of the entries, and I call the properties that I created earlier. The next thing is the Blender game engine implementation part. At the catchy kx python init header I create a new function. The function I call run simple file, I think. Simple file, okay, with const character star a string as argument. This function then will execute the Python script. At kx python init.cpp we define this function. First I create a new character array with 1024 bytes. This is coming from file max. Then I string copy the file name into this variable. Here the autocompletion of Emacs is not working properly. After that I create an absolute path from the file name and gp game python path. This is the path where the blend file resides in. After that I open the file and check if it's done correctly, otherwise I return false. Or maybe print an error string, but here it's because the code should look a little bit easier to understand. After that I use the function py_run_simple_file with the file pointer. The file name is just for error handling, I think. Then I switch to Blender routines, catchy embed start. And include the DNA world types.h. That we can use the world dot init script and cleanup script variables. I look for the main loop and call run simple file just before we start the main loop. Then I go right after the main loop and write or use this function again with the cleanup script name. That should do the trick. After that I compile Blender again. It takes a little bit time, so I pause the recording. Now I start Blender and show you how this could look like. In the world properties we see the new panel with init and cleanup script, and these two scripts are very simple. Just push some data into the global dict and print it to the console. Now I run the Blender game engine and show you that it's actually working. Start and stop, and now you can see that right before the Blender game engine started or enters the main loop, the script is executed, and after that the cleanup script is executed. So, I hope you find this video not too hard to understand. You can keep track of my work on Gitorious. There I host the source code from this little project. My name is Merton. Thanks for watching.